What if a king almost died before his empire even began? A river, cold, fast, unforgiving, an entire army waiting above, ready to kill him the moment he steps in. And he still rides forward, into the water, into the blades. The current drags him down. His army breaks apart around him, and then he makes it to the shore, surrounded, no space, no escape. A blade rises behind him. He doesn't see it. One strike, that's all it takes. And everything ends right there. But it doesn't. Because in that exact moment, someone moves faster. Steel cuts through the air, and history survives by a heartbeat. This is not just a battle. This is the moment Alexander should have died, at the Granicus. 334 BC, Alexander crosses into Asia. Not to explore, not to negotiate, but to destroy the Persian Empire. For over a century, Persia had invaded Greece, burned cities, demanded tribute, treated Greek lands like territory. Alexander doesn't forget that. But this is not just revenge, this is survival. Because if he stays in Greece, his enemies grow stronger. Persia has money, ships, influence. At any moment, they can fund rebellions behind him, turn his allies, break his kingdom from the inside. So Alexander makes a decision. Don't wait for Persia to attack. Bring the war to them. Fast, before they are ready. He crosses the Hellespont with around 40,000 men, infantry, cavalry, a compact, disciplined force. But Persia is already watching, and they respond. Not with the king, but with regional commanders, satraps. They gather their forces and choose their ground. The Granicus River, a natural line of defense, and more importantly, a place to stop Alexander early, before he can go deeper into Asia, before he becomes a real threat. So they prepare. Around 50,000 men, their strongest arm, cavalry. They place them right at the riverbank, not behind, not in reserve, right on the edge. Their goal is simple: hit Alexander the moment he enters the water. Break his charge, kill his momentum, end the invasion instantly. Behind them, Greek mercenaries, heavy infantry, disciplined, experienced. Their job is to finish what the cavalry starts. If Alexander somehow reaches the shore, they will be waiting. A second wall, a final kill, and across the river, Alexander forms his line, phalanx in the center. Long spears, tight formation, designed to push forward and never break. Cavalry on both flanks, flexible, fast, and on the right wing, his strongest force. The companion cavalry, led by Alexander himself, because he doesn't command from behind. He fights where the battle is decided. Two armies, two strategies, one river between them. The Persians believe this is the perfect trap. Alexander knows he has no choice but to walk into it. The trap is clear. The river is against him. The current is strong, pulling, dragging, relentless. The bank ahead rises steep and unforgiving, and above it, Persian cavalry, waiting, still, silent, watching. Everything says the same thing. Don't attack. Parmenion steps forward, his most trusted general. A man who has survived more battles than Alexander has lived years. Wait until morning. Find another crossing. Make them move. Make them fight on your terms. It's not fear, it's experience, because he can already see it. Men slipping in the water. Horses losing footing. Formations breaking apart. Spears useless. Shields out of line. And then, Persian cavalry crashing down from above. Not a battle, a slaughter. The kind no army survives. The kind history forgets. Alexander listens. Really listens. The river roars in front of him. Armor creaks. Horses breathe hard in the heat. For a moment, everything slows. Two choices. Wait, and live longer. Or strike, and risk everything. Most kings would wait. Most kings protect what they have. Alexander doesn't, because he understands something deeper. War is not just numbers, not just position, it's momentum, and right now, he has it. If he waits, he gives it away. The Persians will adjust, reinforce, prepare something worse, but if he hits now, he hits them before they believe it's possible, before they're ready to react, before confidence turns into fear. And that is where battles are won. Not in strength, but in shock. So he makes his choice, not slowly, not carefully, but instantly. He turns. No speech, no hesitation, just a voice, sharp, controlled, final. Form up, we cross. And something changes. You can feel it. The tension snaps. Men tighten their grip. Shields lock closer. Hands stop shucking. Because their king is not hesitating. He is already committed, already moving. The cavalry shifts first. Hooves grinding against stone. Armor catching the light, and on the right flank, Alexander takes position. At the very front, where the danger is highest, where the outcome is decided. The companion cavalry gathers behind him, elite, loyal, ready to follow him anywhere, even into death, across the river. The Persians are watching. At first, confusion, then disbelief, then realization. He's not waiting. He's actually coming. Now. Commands start to rise. Lines adjust. Spears lower. Horses surge forward. The trap is closing, and Alexander rides straight into it. He lifts his spear, points across the water, not at the army, at the moment. Then, without another word, he kicks forward, the first to enter the river. Water explodes around him, cold, violent, rising, and behind him, the army follows. The moment he enters, everything breaks. The river is no longer a barrier, it becomes a battlefield. Water crashes against armor. Horses scream as they lose footing. Men slip, vanish, dragged under the current before anyone can reach them. Shields collide in the water, spears tangle, formations dissolve into chaos, and then the Persians strike. Cavalry surges down the bank, not in hesitation, but in perfect timing. They hit when the Macedonians are weakest, half-formed, unstable, exposed, impact. The sound is brutal, metal against bone, wood splintering, men shouting, then suddenly silent. Spears punch downward into the river. Blades slash at necks and faces. Some soldiers never even see who kills them. They fall, and the current takes them, pulled away like they were never there. This is exactly what the Persians wanted. Not a battle, an execution. Kill them in the water, before they can breathe, before they can think, before they can become an army again. And for a moment, it works. The Macedonian line bends, then fractures, small groups isolated, cut off. Drowning in noise and movement, orders vanish, voices swallowed by the river. No structure, no control, just instinct, just survival. Some try to push forward, others try to turn back, but there is no direction. Only pressure, only violence, and in the center of it, Alexander moves, not away, forward, always forward, water slamming into his chest, his cloak soaked, dragging behind him, his armor heavier with every step. His horse struggles, slipping on unseen stones beneath the surface. For a second, it almost goes down. If it falls, he falls with it, and if he falls here, he disappears like the others, gone in the river, forgotten in seconds, but he forces it forward, pulls the reins, drives it on, because he knows this is the line. There is no retreat, no second attempt. If he stops, the army collapses. If he breaks, everything ends. Then, impact. He reaches the bank. Mud and water explode under the hooves, and instantly they're on him. Persian nobles, elite cavalry, armored, fast, ruthless. They see him clearly now, the armor, the plume, the way he doesn't hesitate. This is not just a commander, this is the center of the army. And if he falls, the army falls with him. So they close in, tight, relentless, blades flashing in every direction, spears thrusting at his chest, his face, his horse, no room to breathe, no room to move, just killing distance. Alexander strikes first, fast, precise. One man drops, then another. Blood mixes with river water beneath them. But more push in, closer, closer, hands reaching for him, trying to drag him down, trying to end it, right here. A blade swings, he leans, barely avoids it. Another scrapes across his armor. Then, one breaks through. A Persian noble rises behind him. Higher ground, clear angle, sword lifted high. No rush, no panic. He knows this strike will end it. Alexander doesn't see him. Too focused forward, too deep in the fight. No warning, no sound. Just the blade, coming down, straight for his head. And in that instant, time slows. The noise fades. The river disappears. One strike, one heartbeat. The weight of everything, balanced on that edge. Then, movement. Fast, violent, precise. A flash from the side. Steel cuts through air and through flesh. Clitus. He doesn't hesitate. He doesn't miss. The Persian collapses. The sword never lands. Alexander lives, and the world rushes back in. Sound, chaos, breathing. For a single heartbeat, everything pauses. Then Alexander turns, eyes sharp, locked, alive, and something changes. Not relief, not fear, something harder, colder. The realization that he was one moment away from ending here, and instead, he's still standing. So he answers it the only way he knows how. He roars, not in panic, in fury, and drives forward again, harder, faster, deeper into the fight. Everything shifts, not slowly, not gradually, but all at once, because behind the chaos, something is coming. You can hear it first. Not shouting, not panic, rhythm, a steady, heavy beat, boots in unison. The phalanx, they've crossed, not scattered, not broken, but intact, step by step, shield to shield, spear to spear, locked tight, unbroken. Where the cavalry fights in fragments, the phalanx arrives as a single body, disciplined, controlled, unstoppable. They don't rush, they don't hesitate, they advance. Sarissas drop forward, longer than any spear the Persians carry, 5 ranks deep, points layered over points, a moving wall of steel, no gaps, no hesitation, no fear. And when they make contact, it's not a clash, it's pressure. Constant, crushing, unyielding. The Persian cavalry is still focused on Alexander, still pressing, still trying to finish the kill. They don't adjust in time. They don't even see the full danger until it's already inside their line. Impact. Horses rear back, instinct refusing to charge into a forest of spearheads. Some turn sideways, some freeze, and in that hesitation, the phalanx hits harder. Spears drive forward into armor, into flesh, into the narrow space between rider and horse. Men are lifted from saddles, pulled down, trampled. The front rank buckles, then shifts, then slides. Step by step, they're pushed backward, not by speed, by weight, by inevitability, because the phalanx doesn't stop to strike. It doesn't chase targets. It doesn't break formation. It simply moves forward, and anything in front of it is forced to move or be crushed. Now the ground itself becomes a weapon. The slope works against the Persians. The river traps their rear. There is no room to regroup, no space to breathe, and the more they fall back, the worse it gets. Lines compress. Horses collide. Men shout over each other. Commands overlap, then disappear completely. This is no longer a controlled defense. This is pressure building toward collapse. And in the middle of it, Alexander sees it, the shift, the hesitation, the moment the enemy stops believing they can win. That is the moment he's been waiting for. He doesn't hesitate. He drives straight at it, companion cavalry surging behind him, tighter now, faster now, no longer reacting, striking. They hit the exposed flank, not head-on, from the side. From the angle the Persians cannot brace against. The impact is brutal. Persian riders thrown sideways, lines twisting under pressure, and now they're being hit from 2 directions, front, side, no balance, no control, and that's when it happens. The line breaks, not all at once, but enough. A gap opens, small at first, then wider, then impossible to close. One unit pulls back, another follows, then another, and suddenly, there is no line, only fragments. Commands turn into shouts, shouts turn into panic, and panic spreads, fast, faster than orders, faster than reason. The Persian cavalry, once dominant, is now unraveling. Retreat turns into flight. Discipline turns into survival. And the river, the same river meant to kill Alexander, now traps them. Behind them, water. In front of them, steel. Horses crash into each other. Men fall and are crushed beneath hooves. Some try to turn, some try to push through. None succeed. There is no path out, only pressure closing in, and through it all, the phalanx keeps coming, step, 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 unbroken, unstoppable, inevitable. The last line stands. Not Persian cavalry, not nobles, but the Greek mercenaries. They haven't moved, they haven't broken, they've been watching. The entire collapse unfold in front of them, calm, measured, waiting. These are not ordinary soldiers. These are professionals, men who have fought for years, men who have killed for coin, men who have faced Macedonians and lived. They understand this enemy. They understand the phalanx. They know its strength and its limits. Heavy shields locked tight, short spears ready for close fighting. Formation compact, dense, controlled. They don't shout, they don't rush, they prepare because now the battle is coming straight at them. In front, nothing remains of the Persian cavalry. No line, no order, only fragments running for their lives. Dust, blood, broken bodies, and through it, Alexander is coming. The phalanx is coming, step by step, closer, closer, unstoppable. The mercenaries lower their spears. Shields lock, feet dig into the ground. They brace for impact, because this is the last chance. If they hold, they stop everything. If they fail, there is nothing left to stop him. And then, impact. This time, it's different. Not chaos, not scattered fighting, but force against force, formation against formation. The sound is heavier, deeper, like two walls colliding. Spears snap under pressure. Shields slam and grind together. Men push chest to chest, unable to step back. The mercenaries hold. They don't break. They fight with precision. Controlled strikes, short movements. They stab into gaps. Hook shields aside. Drive blades into exposed flesh. They know exactly where to hit. And for the first time, the phalanx slows. Not stopped, but resisted. The advance grinds. Momentum strains. Men on both sides begin to feel it. Breath turning ragged. Arms burning under weight. Legs slipping in mud and blood. This is not collapse. This is pressure building, to the limit, and for a moment, it holds. The line stays. The outcome, uncertain. Then, Alexander sees it. Not weakness, not fear, but tension. A line stretched too tight, ready to snap. He doesn't waste it. He moves immediately. Companion cavalry pulls wide, circling, positioning, waiting for the exact second. Then, they strike. Fast, violent, from the flank. Not where the shields face, but where they can't. Impact explodes through the side of the formation. Men hit from angles they cannot defend. Shields turned the wrong way. Spears too short to reach. The line twists. Compression turns into distortion. Order begins to slip, and that is all it takes. Because the phalanx never stopped pushing, never gave ground. Now it surges again. Forward, relentless. The mercenaries are caught. Front, side. Pressure from both directions. No space to adjust. No time to recover. Some try to pivot. Too slow. Some try to hold. Not enough. The formation collapses. Not in panic, but in pieces. Sections give way. Small breaks widen. Gaps open. And once they open, they cannot be closed. Men begin to fall. First a few, then many, then everywhere. Surrounded, crushed inward, cut down where they stand. The discipline is still there, but it's no longer enough. Because now, they're not fighting a battle. They're trapped inside one. No escape, No retreat, no surrender, only pressure, closing in, from every side. The ground becomes unrecognizable, mud mixed with blood, broken spears underfoot, bodies stacked against each other, voices fade, orders stop, resistance weakens, and slowly, inevitably, it ends. The last line disappears, not defeated, erased. The army that stood to stop Alexander no longer exists, destroyed, completely, in a single day. And just like that, it's over. The noise fades, the shouting, gone. Only the river remains, still moving, still flowing as if nothing happened. But everything has changed. The field is silent now, broken armor, shattered spears, bodies scattered across mud and water. Men who, hours ago, stood as an army. Now, they are history. Alexander rides slowly across the battlefield. No rush, no celebration, just watching, taking it in. Because he knows this was close, closer than anyone will ever admit. One moment, one strike, one mistake, and none of this exists. No empire, no legend, just a name, lost in the river. But that's not what happened. He survived, he pushed forward, and he broke them. The Persian army sent to stop him is gone. Not weakened, not delayed, gone. And the message spreads fast, faster than any army can move. City after city hears it. The Granicus has fallen, Alexander has crossed, and nothing stopped him. Doors begin to open, not out of loyalty, not out of respect, but out of fear. Because now he is no longer a risk, he is a force, something that doesn't wait, something that doesn't hesitate, something that doesn't stop. The invasion is no longer a question, it's happening, and Persia, for the first time, feels it, not as an empire, but as a target. Granicus was not the biggest battle, it was not the bloodiest, but it was the beginning, the moment everything shifted, the moment a young king proved he would not play safe, he would not wait, he would not fight the way others expected, he would do the impossible and make it work. And from this point on, every battle changes. Because now, they know who he is, and more importantly, what he's willing to risk. The river that should have stopped him became the first step of his empire, and this was only the beginning.